We are live here from CRL 360 headquarters as we're heading into the finals. I formed hyped. We're going to solve some of the games today. But first of all, I'm joined here by my lovely guests, Jilly Jumpers, Liam, Ryan, and Ash Crutcher. How are we going, boys?
Good.
Going good today.
Good.
Now, today, obviously, we've just finished the regular season with the Roosters defeating the Eels, getting their spot in the finals. We'll get into a bit more on that later. We excited for finals, boys, but it's just around the corner now.
Yeah, man, it's
Yeah.
it's gonna be exciting. I've been waiting all season for this.
Yeah, same.
I've been waiting
Now,
all season for this to just cry.
it's gonna be a bit of an interesting battle. Obviously, Panthers and Sharks will be versus back-to-back weeks after they went down by Sharks went down by 1 point. We'll get into that a bit more later. I guess we'll start off with looking at the games from this round, though. To start us off with the Seagulls confirming their finals position in Golden Point against the Rabbitohs. 16 points to 12, and this game was very close. Closer than expected, at least.
Oh jeez, let me say something from here. I think when I tipped the Rabbitohs, I tipped them with no confidence. Going into the game, I thought genuinely, why the hell did I tip them in the CRL 360? And then they came out, we're up 12-0. I said, oh, did I get my tip right? And then from there, Manly switched on. Turbo came up, and then they won the game. So, well done to them Seagulls.
Yeah, well, the Seagulls pulled a little bit of a Panthers. They were down
Yeah.
for quite a lot of the game, and they just snatched the win in the end.
For sure.
Yeah, it wasn't at the Tommy Turbo show, though. He did it last week and he scored a double this week again.
Yeah.
Same old, same old.
He's hitting some form at the right time, which I will say is a positive for Manly heading into the finals. They need him to be fed as firing best if they want any chance of, putting any sort of dent into this competition. They have a tough opponent this week, the Roosters. And I think Rabbitohs had some heart out there this game, didn't they?
100%. You can't sit there saying that they didn't try that game.
Yeah. They probably deserve to get the win in that game, but Manly were just lucky, I guess. Lucky that Tommy fired.
100%.
I guess we move on to the second game of the round. We had the Broncos ending their season off well against the Newcastle Knights, 30-12. What were our thoughts on this game?
Holy crap. It was a bit of a fashion.
What game, sorry?
Knights, Broncos.
Knights,
Well-
Broncos. Oh, jeez.
Well, the Broncos left it all out on the park. They were down and out, and everyone was saying that they were confirmed out of finals. But obviously, the Raiders Knights upset the week before, put them back into the race, and they certainly tried. And I think that they were unlucky not to get the job done. I think that they could have really gone on a run near the back end of that game and scored a few extra points.
The number they needed was 36. If they won by 36, which would be record breaking in the CRL, if they won by 36, then they'd be in the same position Raiders were later down the track. Right?
Oh yeah, so they would have lost anyway. They wouldn't have made finals anyway if they did win that by that much.
No, but if they won by 36, they could have made it if Eels had won by less than 12.
Oh, yeah.
Which ended up not happening. So, it's Broncos. They tried the hardest, but it wasn't meant to be. And I think Knights are a bit lower this point in their efforts. They've been so good the previous weeks, and I don't know what happened this week.
Yeah.
I thought, honestly, I didn't think the Knights would come out and be smashed by that much. I just didn't see it happening, and I was shocked when they didn't give the Broncos a fight.
It's kind of just like they
It's
rolled over at
shocking.
the end of the season, just like helping the Broncos out, kind of.
Yeah.
Kind of like, oh yeah, we won't give you the wooden spoon, but we'll try and win big. Sound fair?
Yeah, obviously they did still avoid the wooden spoon with the Rabbitohs. You know, they weren't good enough to avoid it. However, they had got it. They would have been hammered in the media if they had got it from that point.
Yeah. I mean, the Rabbitohs definitely deserve it the most. And I don't think the Broncos deserve it at the Knights deserve it at all. So if they were to get it from there, then oof.
Yeah, it would have been salt in the wound, as they say. Well, anyways, the next game, and I've actually put this wrong down on our notes. The next game actually is meant to be for Raiders defeating the Tigers 18 points to 12. Now, they gave themselves a chance, however, it wasn't good enough in the end.
Yeah.
I thought that the Tigers were really good, all
They
things
looked-
considered. All things considered, I think they were pretty good.
They were 100%.
I
Yeah,
was-
they had no one.
Yeah, I mean they dropped pretty much their entire squad. I was particularly impressed by Mamalo. I thought he didn't play an amazing game, but he played a very good game. I mean, he scored a
I
try,
was about to say the same thing.
110-ish meters. And yeah, he really stood up. I mean, he was kind of the only real leader out there. I mean, Dewey as well. I mean, Dewey also played a pretty good game. Staines was terrible.
Okay.
I mean, he did get a -3, so Staines was pretty bad.
Worse than thought was better than he was.
But
Yeah, I think
Where did
I
Staines
think the good
play?
thing about the Raiders was that they
Thing.
did show something. However, they did not deserve. They couldn't win. They could only beat the Tigers out by 6. They did not deserve to be in finals. I'm
Yeah.
flat saying it now.
To be fair, neither did the Roosters.
I will,
But
I will say that I think if Hammer had of not got injured, I think they would have gone on to make the finals.
Yeah.
But I think it's just too big of a loss. He's too good of a player.
100%.
I guess we'll move on to the next game of the round. These were the two B teams going at it, with
There
the
we go.
Panthers getting over the Sharks for 1 point. In all grand scheme of things, this game doesn't really matter. It just was determining who was getting the finals home game. But it ended up being a close one between these two baby outfits of both these sides.
Baby Panthers beat the Baby Sharks.
Which they did not deserve to do.
Oh yeah, right.
The Sharks were by far
They were, yeah,
by
they were.
far the best side in that game.
But like you always say, a win's a win.
Look, I'm gonna read out some stats for you guys. You know,
There
I
you
love
go.
my stats.
Yeah.
Here's some interesting things for
stats.
you. I've had these up waiting to pull out. So the Sharks, right? They had 54% possession. They had 54% of the ball. They also did not make a single error and completed 17 out of 17 sets. They did not concede a single penalty. They made less tackles than the Panthers. They also missed less than half the amount of tackles that Penrith missed. And they doubled Penrith's line break count. The
I have a question for you,
Sharks,
then. How did Panthers win?
the Sharks were by far the better team in that game. I
Not on the scoreboard.
don't know.
Scoreboard doesn't even
What,
show.
they didn't just win out fair hand, did they, Penrith? What made them win that game?
I think Penrith, we've seen it a lot of times. Penrith seem to win games like this so much, where they probably don't deserve to win the game, but they just do. They just find a way to win.
Even their players, the highest run meters from one of their players is 170, and there's only 2 other players that got over 100. Like, they were not good, but somehow they just found a way to win. I don't know how, but they just found a way to win. And it's a trend that we've been seeing with Panthers, is they're just winning, even when it doesn't make sense.
I think what you got to look at is to fix some of their tries. Maybe we're a bit soft to concede by the Sharks. You had Remy Smith run 100 meters to score.
If we didn't let him do that, I think we probably.
What was the other try
kind
Panthers
of mad
scored?
at that.
Chris Lewis
remember.
palmed off one. I think it's got
Yeah,
Celtic.
Chris Lewis scored. It
That
was
was
just simple
soft,
hit up.
yeah.
It was simple
That
hit
was
up.
soft.
They didn't do anything that really deserved the try, the Panthers. And I think that, Sharks, if they had have just played good, like if they had not played good, sorry, if they had have just stopped those soft chances, the Sharks probably beat them by 12-0.
Yeah.
I guess we'll move on to the final game of the round, which this really did prove out. Well, this was the final game, which was going to determine where things would finish in the finals. The Roosters defeating the Eels 34-16. Thoughts?
Yeah, the Roosters are the better side. Eels, I don't think they deserve to win, and just showing the score sheet. Roosters came out firing, and the Eels, well, they just go this season. Better luck next season.
Roosters has been too
As hard as it
inconsistent.
is,
My vote for the
Roosters make it. Eels don't.
my vote for the Roosters in the finals is their consistency.
Yeah.
They're too inconsistent.
They have been really
Yeah,
inconsistent.
I think on their day, they can challenge the Panthers and the Tigers and the Sharks.
Exactly.
Like,
Yeah.
they beat the Sharks on their day. They did earlier in the season. They beat them 24-18.
On their day.
Yeah.
Obviously,
That's
that
the
was quite
problem.
a while ago now. But on their day, they can challenge these top teams. I think if they're versus the Panthers, like maybe the Tigers or maybe the Sharks. If they're versus the Sharks against the Eels that week, they might win. Or they might at least go close if they're versus the full-strength Shark side. But if they can't be consistent, they're not going to get that opportunity to begin with.
Yep.
Exactly.
They have to, in order for you to go from, they're in fifth right now. In order for them to go from fifth to make that grand final, right? They have to win 3 very tough games just to make the grand final. 3 games against very tough opponents. You'll be in the one elimination game each week. You'll be in all of the elimination games. You have to be very consistent. If they can get that consistency at a top level, they can do it. But I think at the moment, it's going to be too tough overall for them to get there. Sadly for the Roosters. I think they're just making up numbers.
Yeah.
And on the Eels, on the other hand, I'm a bit disappointed they didn't put more heart in it. They had the finals on the line. They need to win 13 plus to make it. They were never in the
No.
contest.
Not even close.
Uh,
They didn't
Roosters
come close.
genuinely, if Roosters didn't pull like the pedal off, like the brake off, if they didn't take the foot off the brake, right? They could have genuinely won it by about 56-6.
Yep.
Well,
They're up 34-6 with 20 minutes to remain. Eels should consider themselves lucky they didn't lose by even more.
Yeah, I mean that could have been a 50-0 thrashing. Or 50,
And they're 4
50
against
to
us.
6 even.
And I don't think we all start to think around and thought the Eels would end up finishing 8th in the season, but they ended up going all the way down to 8th.
Oh wow.
damn. Don't expect that. Not at all.
That's unlucky for the Eels, but I mean, when you play that bad, I don't know if you really deserve to get any higher than that. They only won 3 times. I don't know. Maybe we're overrating them too much. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I think the most disappointing thing about the Eels is they had no heart there. Like, the Roosters were out on their feet. I know the previous week they were thrashed, but they showed that they wanted this final spot. They wanted it, and they got it.
100%.
I've never words for the Roosters. I think that if they can keep that consistency, they will genuinely they'll challenge this competition. But no consistency, no chance.
Sure.
I guess we move on to the next segment, which is I love this segment so much. It's Team of the Week. We've got obviously our top 13, then our bench player of the round. I guess we'll start off with the fullback of the week, which who else other than Tommy Turbo?
Not surprised.
Well, he's been good the past 2 weeks, hasn't he? He's gotten back into the fullback role and he's been playing well. He was fullback of the week last week, right?
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, he's been good. I think that if he fires, along with a few other stars at Manly, like Saab and Witani Zalesniak even, I think Jake Trebojevic, Harry Grant, if they can all fire, Manly can really push on through this final series. But it's all going to be at the center of Tommy.
Look,
100%.
I think Manly can. I can think genuinely. I think Manly are premiership contenders. I stick by this. I think Roosters are the only team in this final series making up numbers. I think I know people are going to be mad at me for saying that, but I think it's the truth, really. I think the Seagulls, though, I think they're a top. I think they can be a top team. They were at the beginning of the competition. They just had that bit of down period in the middle, but they've managed to push it up now.
Yeah.
I know Liam said this quite a few times, and I do genuinely think this is why. He said he didn't want Manly to make finals, but the sole reason if they did make finals, they'd be very hard to stop. And I think now that they have made finals, teams should watch out.
My worry is for Manly. If Turbo's not there, they go downhill.
If Turbo doesn't play well, I don't
They're
know
not.
if
Yeah.
I
If
don't know if
Turbo's
they
not
beat
there,
anyone.
Turbo's not there, they lose to Rabbitohs. Turbo's not there, they lose to Eagles.
If Turbo is not doing well, they'll lose to the Roosters pretty easily.
Exactly.
And I'm actually would be scared because the Roosters do have attacking power. But they did beat the Roosters, so there's a sign there.
Maybe. I don't know. I think they can. I think. Yeah, okay. I guess we move on to, since we're getting into sidetrack, we move on to the wingers of the week, which is Ronaldo Mulatalo and Raymond Smith. Played against each other. They played both pretty good, though, didn't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, in both B teams, they were one of the few players that were left in the side, and they both stood up and they both played really well.
For sure.
100%.
Can't say too much other than they played well.
Yeah, I guess we'll move on to the centers of the round, which were Xavier Savage and Sione Katoa.
How good was Savage to watch? A double.
Double.
As a wing,
Electric.
as a center.
Electric.
Yeah, I think Walker Blake
Shame we
is
didn't
watching
get
over
the
his shoulder
same
right now.
finals.
Yep, I'd be scared of Walker Blake. Yeah.
We don't get to see many top centers now in the finals, but I guess that's not what we're here for. Battle of the fullback.
Yeah, that's what we want to see.
Forwards. Go wait and see.
Yeah, I think and on the other hand, Sione Katoa was just solid. But Sarah debut, nothing wrong with him.
No.
Yeah.
Guess we'll move on to our next position, which is our 5-8 of the round. And although we may finish the season with a bit of a downgrade on his rating, we have Luke Curious 5 of the week, and he was probably his best game of the season before the Roosters.
Yeah, well, they needed him to stand up. They needed to win this game, and he did. He played very well. Sam Walker's kind of been carrying the team so far, but he said, "Let me have a go, Sammy. Move over." And yeah, played very well.
Well, you say that, you say Sammy move over, but I'd argue Sam Walker even played even better. He played in the same game.
Yeah,
And
he was
played
pretty good.
incredible. He did miss out on halfback of which we'll get to that in a second. The Roosters halves in general are just firing all day.
Yeah, for sure.
I guess we'll move on to our halfback of the week now, who is Adam Reynolds. Yeah, he was incredible for the Broncos. Finished the season off on a high.
Yeah. Thought he was just really good ending the Broncos season. Pushed hard. left nothing out there on the field. If they were going to make finals, they were going to make finals. It just wasn't there. He had a great game. They tried their hearts out. Just wasn't their day, was it?
Yeah, look, I think Reynolds, he's been probably the best halfback all season. He's been really up there. He's been just trying his hard out. Scored a try, had a try assist today, ran 125 run meters. I think he's a real weapon in this game.
100%.
And I think something I liked is that he's actually improved his running game a lot in the CRL. He's just for his playmaking and stuff, but in the CRL he's been running the ball a lot. And I think it's really benefited him.
Yeah, and it's benefited the Broncos. I think their strongest point all season has been their attacking game, and a lot of that revolves around Reynolds' running game. So it's been impressive to see.
Yep.
Yeah. Speaking of the Broncos, we have one of the props of the week. We have probably the only player on the field better than Adam Reynolds. We have Payne Haas. Along with Payne Haas, we also have Sifa Talakai as props of the week. Thoughts on these boys?
Hey, nice. How good. Unsung hero for Broncos general.
Yeah, he's been missing all season. Comes out here, makes 8 line breaks, 199 run meters. Where'd this come from?
I'd like to see it's next season. If he does this next season, great to watch. Yeah, not for us, but for the Broncos, I'd love if he could do that next season.
Yeah.
And then we had Talakai making is this his first CRL game?
Yeah, I believe it is.
Got him.
Yeah, he played really well for his first CRL game at prop and did the job.
It was scary.
I guess we move on to Hooker of the Week then, which I know Jilly loves this guy, Harry Grant.
Yeah, I said it at the start of the season that I thought he would be Dally M of the year, or Dally M Hooker of the year at least. I'm pretty sure I'm wrong about that. He had a bit of a form slump in the middle of the season. But he's been pretty good the past 2 weeks. He got in here last week as well. And it's good to see him playing well.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think Harry Grant, hasn't. I don't think he's been in the team with week since round 1. Am I right in saying that? Was he here?
He was in last week. He was in last week, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. After last week, before that, he wasn't in, and I think he was really good against the Rabbitohs.
Yeah.
I guess we move on to the second rowers of the round. Now, both these players played their first game starting in the second row at least. And both of them played really good. We have Katoni Stags and Bo Thermal.
Thermal gave me a heart attack in that game.
It was awesome. He's done nothing all season until that point, and he's given me a bit of a dilemma. He has 2 more weeks to prove why he could 2 more games to prove why he could be he could stay at the Sharks. If he's not good enough, he'd probably be dealt around to another club. But yeah, he was awesome.
Well, what I'll say is, I was particularly intrigued with how Katoni Stags would go in this game. I've preached this pretty much every single CRL episode. I'm a big believer in the centers in the second row theory. And again, it's proven there's a bit of a trend going on here, and I think that more clubs should start adopting their gold and silver centers into the second row to get them more ball, to get them moving around. I think it's a great thing, and Katoni Stags showed why this week.
I have a question for you. Who do you think the next center would be to do that?
I think we're looking at Olam, to be honest. I think Olam should be the one.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
I think Olam's heading there.
I think Olam's heading there.
And
I wouldn't be surprised if Manu heads there as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't think I think Marla's had a spot on the wing now, to be honest.
No.
That's my thoughts though.
Fair enough, I guess.
Nah,
It's your
Manu's
thoughts.
not a winger. He's a freaking second row.
Oh, don't
I
say
think,
that.
to be honest, I think someone should try to find a spot on the spine. I think if he can get a spot on the spine, he'll take it. But we'll have to see.
If Walker leaves, Sam Walker, I think he gets spot in halves.
Oh yeah, probably. That might actually be the plan. To have to wait and see though. I guess we'll move on. I guess we'll move on to the lock of the round, which is this one. This one was as obvious this round. There wasn't many great locks. They're all just good. We'll go on Victor Radley.
Yeah, he was great. I mean, pretty much every Roosters player in that team was great, but he stood out. He hasn't had the most amazing season, but he played well in this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with you. He sort of just got his hands on the ball. I think one thing I really like about him is his passing game. Sometimes he just gives good balls off to the halfbacks and stuff. Gives them drawing into the line. Yeah, Victor Radley played really well.
Mm.
And I guess we move on to our bench of the round, which this one
Oh, yes.
ended up becoming the second best player based off the ratings in this era, Chris Lewis.
Oh, good. First game of the NCL career. Just goes to show.
Yeah, comes off the bench, absolutely dominates. I don't know how much longer Penrith have him contract for, but I think he should be pushing for a starting role next season, or at least a bench role. We'll have to see though.
I know.
Anyway, I think
Yeah,
that wraps up Team of the Week. Now we're going to move to our actual two favourite segments. We have two types
Oh,
to talk about. We've had the first wave of State of Origin squad announcements. Obviously, you guys are all involved.
yeah.
So I'm going to start with, now I think, personally, the Maroon squad pretty stocks down. I don't think there's any too surprising ones. Xavier Savage got a spot. I don't know, I was entirely expecting that. But I think he deserves it. I think the biggest shock, though, and I want to hear your thoughts on this one, is Ben Hunt in the squad. Do you want to elaborate on that as much as you can about giving away anything you're planning to do with him?
Ben Hunt in the squad is Ben Hunt in the squad is simply depth, and I want him around the boys. I think he's got he's got great experience. I mean, he's been in the Origin arena multiple times, and I want him to teach some of the younger boys a few things. So we'll be holding a few training matches with the team. So hopefully he can teach the boys a few things, and honestly, don't really plan on playing him in the starting 17.
Yeah, I think that's I think Ben Hunt, he's a very solid player. I think he was probably unlucky to get not only play 2 games this season, he played great in his second game at 5'8". I thought he could have found that his spot. Obviously, the Broncos are looking like they're going AJ Brimson at 5'8". Do we think someone else swoops in and picks up Ben Hunt soon? I don't know when he's off contract, but
He's off contract this season. And
I'm supposed
oh, he is.
yeah, and look,
Yeah, he is. Do you think?
I would say that Ben Hunt, actually, Ben Hunt would be a magnificent buy for one of the top teams like the Panthers, the Sharks, wink wink, because he's going to be a bronze this season. He went down by 1, and he's a great backup half. He's an amazing half. So I think
even
maybe
like a 16.
Yeah.
16. Come on, maybe Locker, if Zach Hooker or something.
Yeah.
Just give the proper little break. Obviously, we've seen that sort of going backwards for Sharks this season with Brandon Smith going backwards because of it. But maybe he's pretty versatile. Maybe even get a stint in second row or something. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, silly. We know those. Yeah, I think other than that though, your stock pretty I think it's good. Now, I've been sort of delaying this because I know Ash is really big for me just having it going in the entire time. But Ash.
Yes.
All right, let me go over what's everything wrong with your squad. They've announced today. All right.
Okay.
So let's go over it. All right. Adam Reynolds, I expected him. Payne Arse, I expected him. Bags, I expected him. Daniel Jacobs, I expected him. John Mitchell, Damien Cook, Tarek Sims, deserve it. Junior Paulo, expected him. Wagga Blake, and Jack Wyden. Explain.
What do you mean explain?
Why are they in the squad? I think Wog Blake can get away with it. Jack Wyden won't even play a game for you guys.
There's a reason we had no one else for the backup half that deserved it, in my opinion. And Gleam would agree with that, right?
But why
Backup half,
won't
there's-
play? So
Yeah,
you
I-
literally don't have a backup half then if he's your only one.
Oh, you do. We have other ones.
Oh, okay.
He
It's
was gonna be
pointless.
he was gonna be a starting half.
Ah, okay.
But he can't play. All you're doing is you're putting him in the squad, and you're getting a rival club keeper, Mark, because you both are head coaches, a rival club's player back for the start of the season.
Oh.
Just giving what my thoughts on this.
He's
was
gonna get
that,
his 3 games off suspension instead of Origin because he's in the squad,
What my thoughts is,
and he will
let
be
me
back
fucking
for
speak.
round 1.
Let me speak. Sorry, let me speak. Jack Wyden, the reason we got him in the squad is because we got him experience. He's got a great experience. Got great voice to go in the squad.
He's right. He's right. What do you mean? He's right.
Got great voice. He's gonna he'll really help us. He'll help the younger boys and
Alright, let me ask you this then.
lead the younger half.
Let me
Yeah.
ask you this
No,
then.
no, you don't have any argument for that, Lachlan. No, he's right.
No, I'm
If
arguing
Julie
with Blake
can say
now.
something
I'm
similar to
arguing with Blake now. Why the hell is Wagga Blake in the squad over Brian To'o?
Okay. We have better backs. That's what I'm gonna say.
I personally think that both of them should be in the squad, but
There's a reason you'll find out later on.
Yeah, that's why.
Wagga
Now, this is
Blake
what I'd say.
isn't-
In my
Tell
opinion,
me-
I'd be
you
getting
see
rid of Jack Wyden, and I'd be chucking Brian To'o in there. That'd be my squad.
I'm kidding. Are you coaching a squad? I'm kidding. But still, experience.
This is the point I'm making. Try to make it more like anyone 360 here, you guys. Give me a break. I don't get the mindset of picking him in there. And you say there's no backup halves. There's plenty of backup halves, even if they're not from these teams that you can announce now. There's plenty from the other teams that are still
There's
competing in the
more
finals.
coming. You've seen like 10 players. You can't really judge a squad of 10 players. Not even 10 players.
But my point is, there's no reason you should pick Jack White in the squad.
Experience, eh?
Huh?
My reason. It's my reason experience. Hate to spend Hunt for experience? We should check one for experience. Simples.
At least Ben Hunt can play.
yeah.
Okay, true. Let me help me out.
Jack
He's helping me
White
there.
was suspended for 3 games. This isn't a 4-game series, it's a 3-game series.
I can dream. I can dream.
Round
Experience.
1 and 2 of the draw are going to
Realised
be
that
Raiders
we-
versus Panthers and Sharks, and Whiten ripping you two up.
I might actually do it
Oh.
just so that you can feel the pain of it.
No.
Alright, so now it's time to move to my personal favourite section. We're going to be basically predicting the 2 games, so the Panthers, Sharks, and Seagulls versus. But after that, I'll continue on and predict the rest of the final series and how I think it's going to go. Sound good, boys?
Yeah.
Okay.
Alright, so the first game we have, right, is the Panthers taking on the Sharks. Who are we thinking it is?
I'll go first since I am the only non-biased person other than Lachlan. This one I think is going to be a very easy tip. I think that the Sharks are going to come out with a vengeance.
Why is it?
1-12 Sharks to knock the Panthers down a ring from the ladder.
Alright, I think it's my turn to speak for a bit. So, Panthers. They've been going pretty easily recently. They seem to give it to the Sharks that they won last week. I'm going to say Brandon Smith plays a full game, has an absolute blinder. Pappenhausen sheds up. Sharks win 13 plus. And I'm thinking like a big scoreline and put Panthers back in their place.
Ash, you go.
It's his game.
Okay. Panthers, obviously. But I'm gonna be close. 1-12. By 2. I put it to goal, the usual.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go Sharks. 1-12. I think Pappenhausen finally gets back in his best form. In the right time, and makes huge headlines and makes a lot of clubs scared.
Interesting. I guess we'll move on to the next game in the tipping, which will have the Seagulls versus Roosters knockout final. Who are we tipping?
Well, Roosters have gone win-loss for the past 5 or 6 weeks now, I think. It's been a while. They won this week. They lose in the finals. Manly 1-12.
I'll go Manly. No, sorry, Turbo. Turbo 13 plus. I think Turbo carries them to win.
Name you go.
Alright. I think the Roosters. I think it's time for Turbo to have an off match. Roosters 1-12.
This game, it's an interesting one. On one hand, I think if Turbo doesn't fire, Roosters win. However, on the other hand, I think if Turbo does fire, Seagulls win 13 plus. Turbo to score a hat trick. I'm going to go with that bold prediction. And
Ooh.
I'm saying the Seagulls to win 13 plus in a big way and set the competition alight. Now we've done that. Has everyone made the prediction? I was the last one to go, right?
Interesting.
Yep.
I think.
Yeah, you were.
Alright.
Yeah.
Now we've made our prediction. It's time for me to predict the rest of the final assistants. You guys are all involved pretty much. So it's time for me to do my job best and analyze how I think the final series is going to go. So, Panthers winning. No, sorry, Sharks winning. They'll take on the Tigers for fun in the grand final. And the Panthers will take on the Seagulls for an elimination final. Start the Sharks Tigers. I'm going to say, I don't know how bold this is, right? But I'm going to say Tigers have had a week off. Tigers have 2 rest weeks. However, they may not be able to get groove and thing. I'm going to say it's a bit of a sloppy performance for both teams. Maybe not the Sharks, but I'm going to say it's closer. I'm going to say Sharks win 1-12 in a close game. Next up, we're going to have the Panthers and the Seagulls. Now, this is my first big, bold prediction. I'm going to say Panthers out of back-to-back sets.
Oh.
And I'm going to say the Seagulls shock them. I'm going to say the Seagulls upset.
Wow, Panthers out in straight sets.
I don't know why. I just have a feeling the Seagulls are going to do something special in this competition at the end of the season. That's my bold prediction. That's a big one. So that means the next week will be the Tigers taking on the Seagulls. The Seagulls, they're in good form. The Tigers are trying to get back into form. However, I'm going to say that the lid starts to close on the Seagulls. And I'm going to say the Tigers get them. I mean, they'll take on the Sharks in the grand final by we'll say 4 or something. Tigers win. Just. Which means the grand final will be Tigers versus Sharks. Now, originally, I was going to sit here and say I'm going to stick my original prediction of Sharks winning the Premiership. However, Dane Laurie will be returning. He's going to want to make his presence known. He's going to want to make up for the time he missed. Sharks to win. I'm sorry, Tigers to win just by 6 points or something. Maybe a point. Tigers to win, sorry. Tigers to win just because Jane Laurie has left the magic class. But I'm going to say because the Sharks played all the games, I'm going to say that I'm going to say Brandon Smith gets the player of the final series.
Ooh.
Not playing, he's playing full games as hooker. And I'm going to say he plays really well in this last game. He plays, even though his team doesn't win the final, I'm going to say Brandon Smith takes out the player of the final series. What do you think of my own prediction, boys?
I like it. I I especially like the Panthers getting knocked out in straight sets part.
No.
I don't mind. I wouldn't mind the first season of the CRL with the runners up. Wouldn't mind that. Don't think that'd be a bad way to end a season that I thought could have been very bad at the start of the season.
But yeah, I think I could see that happening.
Yeah, same.
Well, I guess that's it for today's episode, boys. Yeah, thank you guys for listening in. Thank you, Jilly, Liam, and Ash for joining us once again.
Yep.
And I guess we'll see you guys later.
Bye.
See ya.
Bye bye.